Yes, sir. Safety arrived.
Yeah. That is to say, the asset has safely arrived. Well, hi, welcome to Breath of Life Development. My name is Josh Foreman, and as is my custom, I am going to customize this collectible. You can see I did that before on the last Guardian statue, on a Pip Boy. I love collectibles. I don't get them as often as I used to. This one I got for Christmas. But stay tuned after the credits to see what that unboxing was like. It was pretty spectacular. Yeah, but this is from Sideshow Collectibles. It is let's see, the child, aka Baby Yoda, aka the asset, aka Grogu, all these things from the hit TV series Star Trek, or was it? Oh yeah, look. So it's got a Cylon on it, so it's definitely from Battlestar Galactica. Anyway, yeah, this is a super cool collectible. It just doesn't quite have all the features that I want specifically. I want an articulated Baby Yoda. I want to be able to pose him in all sorts of ridiculous poses because he's adorable and he can do all these adorable things. So let's just dive right into it, shall we? So here he is, pristine, out of the box. And he's got this really nice little stand, life-sized as you can see. He's got the little classic hole in the foot, and you could stick them on a peg just like the old Star Wars figures. Really love that. Takes me back to the late 70s when I first started collecting Star Wars figures. All right, let's see what sort of anatomy Baby Yoda has down here. And it looks like he's got a very nice smooth body. Some screws, so I could just easily pop them apart, I'm sure. Except the usual, I can't find any of my tiny screws, despite the fact I have at least 3 or 4 sets of tiny screws. So I'll just, you know, find something else that'll work, right? Maybe this sculpting spatula will work. No, that's not gonna work. What about this one? Won't even fit. Okay, so this is not a Phillips head. This is just the straight kind. What are those called? Phillips versus... Doesn't matter. Either way, it just doesn't work. I thought maybe if I applied some major pressure on it, it could work. And never mind, I'll figure something else out. There we go. When in doubt, just hack things apart. Email me at breathoflifedev@gmail.com if you think this is a bad idea. I'm thinking maybe if I get the head popped off, then I don't have to worry. I can keep it safe while I do, you know, sawing type of activities, but that wasn't budging. And of course, I just managed to hit exactly where the screw is, because of course. But the rest came off without much of a problem. marked a line here just in case I was going to reunite the two pieces, but I decided to replace them later. See, I got one screw out, but I couldn't get the other. And I thought, you know, maybe I could just pry it apart just enough to pop the head off. And then, you know, as things go, just nothing just works right the first time. Where you at, baby? Where you at? All right. That was a off-camera nose boop, in case you were wondering. That one goes out to you, Indivies. She's always advocating for better nose boops in my work. Yeah, and I still can't get this thing apart. But I thought, hey, maybe if I saw this lip off of the bottom neck part, I can just pop the head in and out a lot easier. Tried a couple methods for doing that, and nothing was terribly fruitful. So I figured since I'm going to be reshaping the bottom of his neck anyway, let's just have it all off. And that, my friends, is how you make the forbidden cucumber slice. Cucumber. Gross. Don't forget. Thanks for the reminder, Craftsman. Now I'm grinding down these edges so that the limbs will be able to move as freely as possible. And this is where I really needed to use my rasps. That would have been really nice to just rasp away the edges, but for some reason I couldn't find them, and I'm not sure why. If you have any idea why I couldn't find my rasps, please email me at josh@mygarageistoo-messy.com. So sandpaper will have to do the trick. And I'll just Dremel, which is super annoying because of how much dust it kicks up. I have this little airbrush vent area, and that helps a little bit. Still kind of rough around the edges. I think I need to clean those up. And I'm going to need to stick wires into these, which is going to be problematic when we have posts like that in the way. So I'm going to drill that out. I'm using this weird drill bit that I bought so that I could drill holes in Heather's succulent planter thingies. She often finds cute cups and things that need a hole in the bottom for her succulents. And this is the kind of thing that could do that. However, it does not seem to do a great job on plastic Baby Yoda arms. I'm not sure why. Upon a little investigation, it looks like part of the reason is that this bit is just completely clogged with bits of porcelain from various cups that I've cut apart before. And I have no idea how to clear that blockage out. So email me at howtoclearceramicblockageoutofyourdrillbit.com if you know the answer to this. Or just comment below. That'll work. Now when it comes to the limbs, I have a perfect material for it, but I'm kind of using it for this purpose right now. That light switch is just super hard to get to in my studio/garage. So I have this weird little lever that I made out of PVC pipe. So I'm just going to borrow a couple inches from it. let's get inside the mind of Baby Yoda. I don't know why I thought I deserved to clap for myself there. And I found this medicine lid which works perfectly to block out where I need the arms and the head to emerge from. And it occurred to me that I could anchor the wires into some sleeves so that I could rotate them easier. I have these brass tubes that'll work perfect. Just using some regular 5-minute epoxy here to get these roughly in place. All right, this stuff is verdant, lightweight, but it contains miracles, so it's got that going for it. This is basically Bondo. As a pro tip, if you keep your hardener taped to the lid, then you know it could be even harder to read the product label later. Coincidentally, this stuff is kind of this yellowish green color, and the hardener is blue, so it turns into this very Yoda-ish green. Not that it matters, it's all going to get covered up later, but it was a fun coincidence. Now, Bondo is very smelly stuff. I don't typically like working with it, but if you need to fill rather large gaps, it's a pretty cost-effective and very strong way to do so. Filled in the edges of his little leg and arm spacers so that I could drill through them and have a tighter fit for the wires. Now, while Bondo is setting up, it's got about an hour worth of time where you can carve it very easily, so I try to take advantage of that. Now, I'm wrapping Yoda's head in foil just so I don't accidentally drip goop all over the beautiful, pristine finish. And shaping these little limb bits so that they'll be able to pose as easily as possible. This is a neat little feature I have on my work table. I have a roll of paper attached to one side and I can just pull it out whenever I need to clean things up. And there we go, we're just about ready to assemble. For the armature here, I am using literally armature wire. This is, I believe, aluminum wire or aluminium, and it's made specifically for sculpting. Right now I'm scoring the edge here. I'm not trying to cut through it. I just want some marks in there so that it'll stick into the epoxy better. Now I'm using basically actual bandaging here to wrap the body and the limbs up. Not that anyone will see it, but it'll just be a much nicer finish for under the robe there. I'm using Epoxy 20 here. I have a whole video on using various epoxy clays for sculpture and projects. Check it out there. I wet my tool down before I try to sculpt the epoxy. Just makes it easier to move around. And I'm using it to finish off where I want the wires to emerge from the body because it's just way stronger than Bondo. It's almost like steel. I thought this wrapping actually works really well for a Star Wars themed character. You see it in several Star Wars-ish characters, so I figured why not go with that. Seems like a good onesie for the Baby Yoda. So yeah, that covers it really nicely, and it stays flexible so I can still pose him easily. Now I'm worried as I'm nailing the fabric into the back of his neck that I'm kind of, might be wrecking the nose, so I'm just being very tender with it. But it's the only way to get this bandage to stay around his neck well. And before I get the head back on, I'm taking advantage of this time where I could get all these multiple angles to just wipe down some of the red on his cheeks. I think it's a little overboard. I'm literally just using water on my thumb and rubbing it back and forth. Since the skin itself is the color of the material they made it, I'm not worried about rubbing the green away. It's just taking the red off a bit. Just cut it down about half. And more epoxy for the head. I'm just filling the head with it so that it's going to stay very firmly in place. Now I don't want him standing up because I don't want the epoxy to drip out, so he's going to stand on his head for a bit. Cool trick, bro. Okay, now I'm gonna weather the jacket a bit. Given all the action he goes through, the eating, the messy places he's wandering, I feel like his robe needs more wear and tear on it, so. I'm simply using brown acrylic paint, watered down quite a bit. I'm gonna put some very strong smudges here and there, but for the most part, just little bits of spatter and more subtle stain. Don't forget I post pictures of my work in progress on the Instagram, so be sure to follow me there. Now just using a little spatter technique. And finally, I'm putting on very subtle tinted green color. And one final wrapping for him here. And he's ready to get redressed. And this is pretty much exactly what I wanted. I can put him in literally any pose I like, which is going to be lots of fun. Showing off his talents. In deep thought. Asking for something to eat. And there we go, Baby Yoda is complete. Here are some beautiful poses that I was able to get with him. Yeah, this was just a really fun project, especially fun hanging out with people on the Twitch stream while I was reconstructing him. They get to see behind the scenes, you get to see the camera set up and the lights and all my beautiful dolly tracking shots and stuff like that. It's a good time. Also, hey, you should check out the Discord channel. It's really been taken off. A lot of really fun discussions, questions. Several people have commented that it's the most friendly and open place to have conversations about art. So that really makes me happy, and I want you guys to join us there. Also, thanks to all the patrons that have been supporting me, many of them for several years now. For example, Mike Welsh here, who gets up before he even gets knocked down, which is pretty impressive. I wrote that about him. I do that for all my patrons at $10 and above. You get a shout out on my channel and a special factoid that I make up about you. Also, a huge shout out to my son Shane Foreman, who made the Mandalorian-ish music for this episode. Really appreciate that. You should check out his channel. I'll put a link in the description. He makes lots of really fun, wacky songs. If you think I'm creative, whew, he's extra creative. Extra, extra. I'll see you guys on the next one.
This is the way. Baby Yoda! Oh my god! Oh my god! Yes!
Merry Christmas from the Foremans.
Oh yes.
I'm a gift.
From the
From
normal
God.
people, your normalist friends.
So normal. Don't. It's fine. We're
We're fine. It's totally fine.
It's okay.
Bye.
Bye.